Recording in progress on this computer. Yay! We are live. Woo-hoo-hoo. Greetings and salutations, everybody. And I got the sun streaming in here. My gray is really being highlighted. But I got my rose-colored glasses on today. Yay!
Good morning. Okay, I'm all set up now. I think I got all
Yay!
the little things. Yep,
Fabulous.
I think
Fabulous.
so.
This is too funny. I got cards already. So, who
Of
are we?
course.
We are all in alignment with Anita and Cheryl, helping you create sacred space so you don't feel like you have to leave your home to decompress. You don't have to go anywhere on a holiday because you love being at home so much. Anyway, we get our topic of the day from the Personal Paradise Feng Shui card deck from Tara Catherine Collins. And I was set up outside this morning, so I thought, well, I'm just going to start shuffling early. And I have 3 cards already.
Ooh.
Of course, because I'm set up and I'm all cozy, and it's a little cooler outside this morning, so sweater on and blanket, and they're hitting the floor.
Good morning, Sharon. Okay, I have a prediction
You have a prediction, okay?
because I don't know what cards came out of the deck,
Nope.
but I have a prediction that one of them is going to have to do with knowledge and self-cultivation.
Do you? Okay.
Anyways, we'll see.
Well, would you like to know what the cards are?
Well, before that, I just want to say that because you had mentioned last week that I was facilitating the Western School of Feng
Oh, yes.
Shui Essential Feng Shui certification program coming up at the end of September in Red Deer, Alberta, I actually had a couple of people reach out to me because of that.
Hey,
So
that's
we're gonna
fantastic.
just gonna mention that because the word
Absolutely.
is getting out. And also something funny I have to tell you. Um, last week, my nephew came for a visit. One of
Mhm.
my nephews, I only have a
You
hundred of
only
them.
have 100 of them or so.
I don't know. I don't even know how many I have. I lost count. Anyways, he is in his mid 50s. And he said to me, he said, Auntie Nita, he said, sometimes when I'm at work, because he works like shift work, he said, and you know, if I'm bored or something, he said, I'll watch your replays.
Aw,
And I went, really? Wow. Well,
that's
thank
cool.
you. Isn't that cool? Right?
That is so sweet. Well, what is your nephew's name?
Well, he just said,
Well, I want to say
there's
thank
some,
you to him. So,
yeah, he said
thank you
there's
to
some good
Anita's nephew.
information. Yeah, well, we won't mention his name
Okay,
because,
fair enough. Yeah.
some of the other guys might go, what?
What? Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. I get
Some of
that.
the other nephews might say, you're watching Auntie Nita on the replays? Like,
And
really?
that might just inspire them to do
She's
the same.
she's that woo-woo person. Anyways, uh,
Well, we have to say, and welcome to everybody that's joining us, whomever is joining us live this morning, and thank you to those that do watch the replay. Leave us a comment, because it really does make our day to know that we're not just. I mean, we do this anyway because we enjoy doing this, but it's kind of nice to know that we're touching some lives and some people's hearts, and
yeah.
helping inspire them. 'Cause that's the whole point behind this.
Mhm.
All right, so today's cards that came out, very
Oh,
interesting combination. You got your pen ready? The first one, she'll be shocked at this because of our conversation to begin with. The number 28 card desk.
mhm.
And when Anita and I got online, she said, "Oh, you're outside." I went, "Yeah, I'm going to be at my desk all winter, so I ought to be outside now." Shock, shock.
Shock,
Note that
shock.
it's in the green trim, which is 5 element theory.
Mhm.
Wood. Then came out the number 47 card, wealth and prosperity. Notice that it has the yellow trim today, which is Earth. And then the last card that came out, and I'm chuckling, and I'll tie all these together for you in a second on my own experience, the number 21 card, dining room.
Okay.
And it has a red border for fire. So, which is kind of funny because in my head I'm hearing Earth, Wind, and Fire, the music group.
I had the same thing. I was going to start singing, but we know that I'm not the greatest singer. So,
Oh, I'm all snuggled in here, and look where the sun is
isn't
now.
that ABBA? No, doesn't
No,
ABBA
it's
do
Earth,
that?
Wind, and Fire.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
name of the
Okay.
group. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm not good with music. I
so
can
good.
hear a song and maybe sing along, but I have no idea who sings it, plays it, whatever.
Fair enough.
Well,
Well, the
anyways,
reason I'm going to tie this all together, and then I'm going to let Anita talk while I adjust where I'm seated because, the sun is streaming in. I wasn't thinking about that a half hour ago when I was set up. My desk, we talked about that already. I'm going to be there all winter, so why not be outside where I can be? Wealth and prosperity. So this morning, I was doing some gratitude, and my guide suggested I just look out into the garden for inspiration. And looking out into my garden, when you look at the abundance out here, but what really caught my attention was the uniqueness of every single plant in the garden. Sunflowers don't try to look like the monkshood or the scarlet runner beans or the baby's breath or the lobelia or the tagats or. Each plant simply does what they do. They're proud to be themselves. They flourish as themselves. And isn't that really prosperity? We don't try to be like everybody else. Many coaches talk about being unique and what is your individual contribution and what can you do? Well, it's in that uniqueness that you actually stand out. If I didn't have the purple monk's hood behind the sunflowers, they're a backdrop and they support them and they highlight them by supporting them. So anyway, and on my dining room table is a bunch of paperwork because I'm playing with some sacred geometry and grids this morning. So
Oh, well, then that's leading to the wealth and prosperity. Yeah,
prosperity
because
too.
no, yeah, that is very cool because your dining room is your desk at the moment, right?
Yeah, another one.
And what you're doing, that grid is
Yes.
going to um, enhance our abundance, right?
Yes.
So I love
All
it.
right. So you get to
Well,
chat
and
now while I adjust the sun.
well, and I was thinking about that knowledge and self-cultivation was going to come up,
Yes.
but I guess somewhere in the desk, uh, part of that is there because I have been working all week on our websites. We have a few of them, and holy moly, what a learning curve it has been, but I'm getting there. And so I have spent most of my week sitting at my desk and my desktop computer working on all of those things. And yeah, you can tell because I've got a little pile over here and a little pile over there. Um, I've got to have our little, what do you call that thing? Our branding, colors, and all of that. I got to have that handy, our little chart. Anyway, so it's been a learning, but again, ultimately, all of that is shifting the energy, and it's just taking those one little step in front of the other, in front of the other. Pretty soon, it leads to that, that wealth and prosperity. And then I'm thinking, dining room to me means just kind of relaxing, spending time with the family. So these cards, you know what, they're just for Cheryl and I again this morning. Um,
Well,
and
everything is in the quantum field. So there is a connection for everybody that's watching us. So put in the chat which one of those cards you're resonating with this morning or when you're watching this, if it's on the replay or if it's on the YouTube. Curious, because Spirit always guides us in the perfect direction. Like we don't have to make something work. When you're in the flow, you're in the flow and it'll just be there. So I'm guessing that you're reading comments.
Well, we have Claire's joining us this morning. She's trying to listen while she's at work. So she's obviously at her desktop,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Doing something. Ah, and
Well, let's,
the dining room card too
hmm,
is, I'm thinking about our live event that's coming up. And the other reason that that card came up today is because you and I had uh, a meeting yesterday, and we won't share with who, but it has to do with the lunch that we're having at our Power of an Unstoppable Woman
yes.
live event in Red Deer, October 19 and 20. And that's an opportunity where we get to spend time with Sharon and Claire, and we actually get to sit and have a sit down meal together. Yay,
Mm,
right? What a
and really,
blessing.
that is part of prosperity, wealth and prosperity. The wealth and the abundance that will be in that space from the love, the energy, the wisdom, knowledge and wisdom, of course, in that space, not just with the presenters, but with the attendees too, because
Hmm.
we can present all we want. When there isn't anybody in the room to receive it, it still goes out into the ethers. It still has a ripple effect, but it's not the same impact. It's not the same effect as when there's physical attendees in the space. We gain as much as we give. It's that reciprocal feel,
Hmm.
figure
Hmm.
eight, that infinity symbol of when we're a presenter and there's an attendee that gives us feedback or they receive something or you can see the impact that you're making as a presenter. And I personally, as a presenter, I think that's a responsibility we have
Hmm.
to
Yes.
create an impact. That is a responsibility about presenting and speaking. It's to uplift, it's to educate, it's to encourage, it's to inspire. And as attendee, you're also giving back to the speakers and presenters by your reaction, by your receptivity, by your encouragement, by your questions, by your physical beingness in that space. All of that together really creates abundance and
Hmm.
ripple effect going out, not just into the community, but beyond, because we have attendees like Sharon coming from BC. We have attendees like Paula coming from Saskatchewan, from Alaska, from Washington State, from North Carolina, from California. OMG, if you haven't got your ticket yet, hello.
Upstate New York. You
And oh,
forgot
yeah,
about that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is
Hmm.
exciting and it's it is such
You
an
know,
honor. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you were talking, and you're talking about energy, the cycle and whatever, one of the bases for feng shui, the bases or foundations of feng shui teaching is that, everything is energy, that we're all connected to that energy, but that energy moves in a circle.
Yep.
It moves, you know, we tend to think of things as linear, right? But they're not. And, it's that ebb and flow, it's that circular um, motion that nature is showing us always. There's always that cyclical thing happening around us all the time. And again, in nature, there is no state. It's always moving. It's always changing, right? You're going to come and sit out in your garden tomorrow morning, and there's going to be a new bloom, and there's going to be maybe one leaf that's fallen to the ground or
Absolutely.
whatever. It's constantly moving and constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that takes me to back to the wealth and prosperity card. That's a reminder that if we look at our monetary, right? So the exchange of energy that we use to live, to buy our groceries and our clothes and whatever, and all
Mm-hmm.
of those things that we put in our home. Um, look at it energetically, that everything is moving in nature, in
Mm-hmm.
that cycle, in that circle, in that flow. And it really is about us um, participating in that flow and always exchanging that energy, right? So it's always there to be exchanged. So if we have those things in our home, maybe it's your desk, maybe it's your dining room, maybe it's the little things that are stored in the dining room cabinet or in your desk drawers or whatever, things that are not serving you. It's all about a reminder to let it go,
Yes.
right? Because you're putting it, it's meant to be exchanged. The energy is always meant to flow and to be exchanged. It's not there to, you
Hoard.
know, hold on to.
Yeah, you
And
can't.
and it's like, let's start looking, you know, more diligently, even myself. I'm thinking of myself right now that yes, you know what, summer's been busy and there are some things that, you know what, I'm ready to let go of because
Yeah.
I've changed, I've grown, just like your plants have grown. And you know what? Maybe you don't need all of that stuff now, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm kind of going on a little tangent, but
No, I
uh,
love your tangent because as you're talking, I'm seeing your glasses in the 8. Your
mhm,
earrings are in that 8. So if we don't have, so say for example, your earring was a half circle. Well, you wouldn't be able to hold the secondary loop. It would just be
mhm,
a half circle. When we allow the flow to go through, the energy continues to go. And you went in a great direction, Anita. I loved it because um, when we have so many things that we surround ourselves with, there is no flow. We're blocking it and we do it to ourselves.
mhm, mhm,
It's probably the biggest bit of wisdom we can give you. You're doing it to yourself. And you have the opportunity, the option, choices, and decisions. You have that freedom to make those choices to allow the energy to flow. And you do that by looking at your possessions and whether or not
mhm,
they're serving you. A dead leaf on a plant, when it's not serving it, it releases it.
mhm,
When the flower petals are finished, they've given the pollen to the insects, they've given us beauty, it falls off.
mhm. It's done.
It's done.
And then it's like, next.
Next.
Yeah, next. What's next,
There is the
right?
constant flow of energy, and nature teaches us daily.
Oh, incredible, incredible.
Surroundings allow you.
Mm.
So your environment is important for your health, for your wealth, for your prosperity. And part of your environment may be the dining room that needs some attention. Maybe it's the desk or what you use as a desk. Maybe those are the things that need the attention because there is no flow happening.
Mhm,
Or the flow is start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. And when you connect or bridge those little gaps, all of a sudden you're creating that circular flow that Anita was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Well, and the desk, again, that card coming up, and it's a number 28, which is a 10, which is a 1, which is new beginnings.
Hmm.
And again, we're moving into that fall season. The
Yes.
kids are going back to school. They're sitting at different desks. If you're a parent out there that has children going back to school, maybe you can help support them at their desk and teach them a little bit about being in the command position. If they get to choose where they
Where
sit
they
in the
sit.
classroom,
Hmm.
right, they will feel more comfortable, more relaxed, more at ease when they have more of that peripheral vision, right? Maybe like my daughter-in-law who's starting a different job, sitting at a desk, right? Maybe it's like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that my desk is again in the command position, having a supporting wall behind me, being able to see as much of the oncoming energy as possible, having a great view out to the window, uh, you know, those kind of things.
You
So,
know what's
so we
interesting?
can, yeah, we can take some of that little bits of information,
Hmm.
and maybe there's somebody in your life that you can share that with that
Hmm.
it will help them as we go into this fall season. Because the fall season also, I wanted to say, for me personally, I always look at this,
As a year.
coming up here in another week or so. I always look at as the an opportunity for a new year. It always feels to me more like a new year
Hmm.
than the January. And so again, we can look through our feng shui eyes, look at things differently, and yeah, start the new year.
I love that. And when you were talking about the children in school, and I have not been in a classroom in decades, so I don't know what they look like anymore. But when you were talking about the command position, and now what I've learned through feng shui and through you and through Tara's teachings and other teachers, because everybody is a teacher, the students that sit at the front quite often want to be at the front. They're the studious ones. They have the higher marks, but they're also stressed more. And is that part and parcel? It's just a question or an observation, maybe, that their
Hmm.
autonomic nervous system doesn't have the opportunity to calm itself. Where the ones that are at the back of the room have more peripheral, they see more what's going on,
Hmm.
and tend to have more fun.
I was going to say the kids, I mean, from my experience, like you say, being back in school, put yourself back in school.
Yes.
The kids at the back of the class were definitely the jokesters, the pranksters, right? They were because they had the opportunity to see what was all
Go.
going on,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, and they were in command of the space.
Yep.
Ooh, that's really interesting. Okay, well, if there's any teachers out here listening to the replay, we would love to come in your classroom
Room. Oh, yeah.
and help set up the classroom for optimal energy flow, not only for you as a teacher, but for your students. There's really something in there. That could be our new gig. Okay. Uh, once we get all this other stuff, I'll go,
Yeah,
okay,
sure, sure.
yeah.
Uh,
Numbers.
and it is important, and you mentioned that your daughter-in-law is starting a new job, and it's at a desk. And as you were talking, I also thought, okay, there are many people that can't have, they're in cubicles per se, and literally you're facing typically the walls of the cubicle, and your back is open to everybody. And again,
Yeah.
if you find that you're stressed, a lot of that has to do with your autonomic nervous system not having support behind you,
Hmm.
not being able to relax or not being able to calm down. And you may also find that you spend more time away from your desk doing tasks because you're not comfortable and that's your subconscious talking to you. There are solutions and we're happy to help you with those. We're not going to get into it now because I think we're close to the top of the hour.
Right.
There are solutions for everything. Everything has a solution.
I want to just say, because it just came to me as well, we may have some people here listening that are business owners, that are leaders or managers, or, in a work environment. And
Right?
again, pay attention to those people that are sick all the time,
Yep.
those people that show up late, those people that are not producing as much as the other person. And you think maybe, well, how come, they're just as smart or whatever, maybe they're, and then look at their environment. And
Yes.
I guarantee you 100% their environment
Is
is
reflect.
having such an effect on, like you said, Cheryl, their autonomic nervous system, that they're not even aware, and it is reflecting and affecting their work performance. And so you're going to have the high achiever over here, and you're going to have the person that's just as smart, has the same degree, you're paying them just as much, and they're not producing as much. Guarantee. Again, Cheryl and I would love to come in and help you set up your office space, so that, yeah, everybody is thriving. Because
Mhm.
that's the end result, is we want everybody to thrive in their environment.
100%.
Okay,
On that
that's
note,
it.
I
Okay.
want to go to no, not zip it. I want to go to the power of an unstoppable woman for a second because one of our sponsors last year, Christine Swift with Cooperators,
Mm-hmm.
we went into her office. We did a Feng Shui live, a Feng Shui Friday live from there. You can look it up. Um, it was so impactful for her that they're moving locations. And she wants us to come into the new location before they get set up to ensure that the flow is there for everyone.
Right.
She wanted to ensure that the new location, all offices have windows, so they have that natural environment coming in. So she has really taken what we've taught, and kudos to
Mm-hmm.
her, and realizes that her specialty is investments, it's insurance, it's supporting people in those aspects. So call on the specialists in other fields to help you. None of
Mm-hmm.
us, none of
Mm-hmm.
know everything.
Well, and that goes back to, you and I have been trained,
Hmm,
right, to observe and look at the environment energetically.
exactly.
So we really have that, little gift. I think we've honed our skills so that we can, really identify what's going on in our environment and see how it's having an impact
Mm-hmm.
or impressing an idea upon the subconscious mind. So love
100%.
it.
Okay.
Numbers.
The
We're
hour?
at we're tallied up to number 6 today.
Betcha. So, as always, I go to the double digitology book, Marilyn Harper, Joy Roby. And, okay, I'm just going to read a paragraph that jumps out to me. A peace-filled valley. Okay, and now I definitely have to back up. The 6 also brings a sense of deep divine harmony. Yes, when you think of harmony, what images are created in your world, in your vision? A peace-filled valley. Or maybe it is the first glimpse of a sleeping baby. Harmony that moves through even the most distant of hearts. Humans cannot help themselves when they look on a new life, sleeping in perfect security and centered peace, to feel that harmony flowing through their hearts. The reflexive response to a sleeping baby is an overflowing
Mm,
emotion of harmony and love. Now, take that feeling and anchor it in your cells. So when you see the number 6, you can feel the same harmony wash over you.
ooh, when you said that part about the sleeping baby, I'm thinking, it's that fetal position, kind
Yes,
of, right?
the number
Yeah,
6.
cool. Hmm.
And I
And that warms your heart, right? When you think about, again, that image just comes
absolutely.
in of sleeping baby and you hmm,
Mhm.
just warms your heart.
It does so.
Okay, well, next Friday is going to be
The last Friday of the month. I know, August. However,
okay. So enjoy the beautiful sunshine out there wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in to All in Alignment, our Fun Shui Fridays with Anita and my amazing partner Cheryl. And of course, you can always check out our YouTube channel and subscribe, like, and watch replays for the last 3 years. So if you have a rainy day, that's what you can do.
go for it. You're going to learn a lot. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you.